From Armadale Stadium, where tonight the Monarchs race one of the old bogey teams for them, Newcastle Diamonds. With me now, George English in Newcastle. George, you had a slow start to the season, but you know things are going right now, and you're a very strong side, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We're doing very well at the moment. We've a very solid team. Unfortunately, we're without a number 7 at the moment, with both James Birkinshaw and Paul Macklin both being injured. So we're just basically having to blood one of our youngsters because there's nobody else available. All the available youngsters seem to be owned by Edinburgh at the moment, so we can't use any of them tonight, which I think John Campbell's been a bit unfair there. But no, yeah, we are going quite well at the moment, and we're looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, they're always sort of close, intense matches here. How do you view tonight's meeting? Do you think Newcastle can do it?
Yeah, we're very confident. We're always confident when we come here. We know the track's going to be good. We know we can ride it well. We always come here with a positive attitude, which I don't think a lot. You cannot say for all the other teams that come up here. Some of them look at this place as a bit of a bogey track, but I don't see why. We've got no problems with it whatsoever.
We had Trelawney here the other week, and I'm afraid it was one of these watching paint dry meetings. But they're a new side as well, and they've got to gel together. So it's perhaps a bit unfair to criticise at that level. What about the rest of the league? The way the teams are, do you think the league has a chance of going right to the wire to know who's going to win it?
I think that the league is so even this year. Like, the teams are so balanced that it could really, any amount of teams could end up on top. I think it will go all the way. I think it'll be a tremendous, exciting season. I don't know if it could possibly match last year's. Where there's so many teams in contention up to the last week of the season. Yeah. Hopefully it will, because the more that happens, the more interest we can generate for the Premier League, and the Premier League is the best racing, as far as I'm concerned, in Britain and probably in the world.
Yeah, actually, you've just led me nicely on to the next question. What do you feel the Premier League can do now? Because we've had it around for a while. The Elite League's been around. Do you think there's a time to come together again, or sort it out in a different manner?
No, I certainly wouldn't be looking forward to come together again. We as one club certainly wouldn't be able to match the costs that some of these riders in the Elite League would be talking about. Even they'd have to be spread out amongst the teams, and we certainly couldn't afford to pay them their wages that they're getting in the Elite League. Yeah. But we're very, very happy with the structure of the Premier League. The Premier League itself, I think, is very happy with the structure. We get, even as promoters, we all get on very, very well. We don't have any major problems, and if it's not broken, just leave it alone.
Yeah. Would you like to see Sky maybe do a bit more in the Premier League with televised matches?
Absolutely. I think there needs to be more Premier League matches on Sky. I think that needs to be certainly spread out as well. I mean, they seem to have an attraction to Workington at the moment. I think it's probably because there's a Carl Stone here, is probably the only name they know. But yeah, there certainly needs to be more Premier League matches. And if Sky come and watch some of the Premier League matches, they'll see that we have got as far as I'm concerned, far superior racing to the Elite League.
Now, talking of Sky, tomorrow's a big one at Cardiff. A good shot window for Speedway, isn't it, really?
Yeah, we hope it all goes very, very well. Alex Sarkis is already down there. I believe that the practice has happened today, and he says it's all gone well. We really needed to come off well. I think they're fortunate we had the British final on Sky a few weeks ago, which looked pretty embarrassing at times. We need to put that right tomorrow. Yeah,
one thing that you won't be held up by is the weather, because they can close the roof, can't they?
If they've got it working, they have problems, don't they? Getting the roof to open and close. But I believe it's working at the moment. Let's hope it's not needed. Although, in my own little perverse way, I would love for it to pour down with rain tomorrow, just so I could see the roof closed.
On that note, George, thanks very much. We hope we have a good match tonight, and we all look for the right result. Thanks very much.
I'm sure we will have an excellent match. Thank you.
Well, a very good evening to you, and welcome to another EMTV Rewind and another classic match from the archives of the Edinburgh Monarchs. Tonight we're going to go back to 2001 when Newcastle came calling in the Premier League. It's the 8th of June and everybody's ready to race. I hope you're well, and I hope you're keeping safe. My name is Liam Rudden.
Yes, and I'm John McGilvray. Well, we've had many thrilling matches against Newcastle over the years, and the 2001 season was a particularly good one for the Diamonds, who finished as league champions. No surprise when you see they had a heat leader trio of Bjarne Pedersen, Jesper, Olsen and Compton, with Kevin Little and Richard Juul thrown in. So when they came to Armadale on the 8th of June, we knew it would be a tough match. However, Monarchs were made of stern stuff themselves, and in this match there was to be reminded of just what a talent Dalle Andersson was. So for the Monarchs that night then, at number 1, Robert Eriksson, 2, Christian Henry, 3, Peter Carr, 4, Blair Scott, 5, Jan Anderson, 6, Dalle Andersson and 7, Ben Shields. Liam.
Thanks, John. And lining up for the Diamonds that night at number 1, it was Bjarne Pedersen with Rob Grant at number 2. Andre Compton came in at 3 with Kevin Little at 4. 5 was Jesper Olsen. Richard Juul was at 6 and Gary Flint came in at 7. So without further ado, let's join Mike Hunter in the commentary box and let's go racing.
Well, no one's in any doubt about how big a match we've got here at Armadale tonight. It's the Newcastle Diamonds in the Premier League, the third time the Diamonds have been here this season. They won the first time, they lost in the cup tie, but they won on aggregate, so they've definitely got the upper hand so far this year over the Force 2 Monarchs. However, Edinburgh would dearly love to win tonight. They haven't lost a league match here since the 13th of August 1999, and needless to say, on that occasion it was Newcastle who did the trick. And the Diamonds are very much on song at the moment with a very strong looking side. This is the opening race. We've got Bjarne Pedersen coming into gate 1, very much a superstar at this level and indeed any level. Robert Eriksson's in gate 2, Robert Grant rides from gate 3, and Christian Henry comes from gate 4. Pedersen's away well, Eriksson looking for some way to get to grips with him. Comes up the inside, down the back straight there. Pedersen leads into the pit's turn. Henry round the outside. Whoa, my goodness. Rob Grant spins round dramatically and comes a cropper. Pedersen, though, holding the advantage over Eriksson, the Swede. A big bid round the outside there, that could do it. Pedersen just squeezes him out, no more. Eriksson back on the outside line again. Eriksson seems to have some speed there, but he'll find it difficult to squeeze by. Pedersen's not making any mistakes, but there are chances for Eriksson, and he could have a chance here again. Again, just squeezed out by Pedersen. Last bend bid by Eriksson. He may cut back up the inside, but it's too late. A couple of lengths short at the finish. He tried hard enough, but there never really seemed to be a way through there. Pedersen just riding an awkward line and quick enough to make sure that Eriksson just couldn't find a way past. So it's a shared race in the opener, but already Bjarne Pedersen stamping his class on proceedings. Heat number 2, Dalle Andersson rides from the inside gate, and I'm sure the Monarchs will be expecting Dalle to play a big part in this fixture. Likewise, the man in gate 2 for the Diamonds, Juul, back on form now with an engine that goes. In gate 3, returning to the Monarchs team after 6 weeks out, the Australian Ben Shields, who's been riding in the second half, and he's done enough to get another chance. In gate 4 is Gary Flint standing in for the injured James Birkinshaw. And certainly Dalle's made a good start there, and Ben Shields has come into third. Richard Juul in between the two Monarchs with Gary Flint trailing. So Dalle leads the way. Shields trying to find a way through past Juul, and he's looking quite threatening. Round the outside at the bottom bend there for Shields. He's on Juul's tail right enough. And round the outside there, just failing to pick him up. What he doesn't want to do is fall off, of course, but he's looking quite impressive. I think Juul's going to hang on unless Ben produces something miraculous on the last corner. He's round the outside again, and he's just short of the finish. I don't think anybody can be unhappy with that ride, and the Monarchs take a 4-2 in the reserves race to put them 7-5 in front after 2. A long way to go, of course, but the reserves doing pretty well there. Gate 3, the spectacular Andre Compton is in gate 1. Blair Scott rides from gate 2, hoping for a better meeting than he had last week, but this is a tough start for him. Kevin Little rides from gate 3, and Peter Carr is out on gate 4. Peter hasn't been beaten in a race that he's finished here at Armadale this year, but he did pick up 2 exclusions the first time the Diamonds were here for over-enthusiastic passing attempts. And it's Compton to the first corner. Car round the outside, but Compton just ahead down to the pits corner. and that's Peter Carr on the outside where he doesn't usually want to be, and he's still on the outside, and Kevin Little's come back into the picture again. Well, Andre Compton's ambitions to beat Peter Carr around here, and he's pulled out a bit of a lead at the moment, and Blair Scott's been pushed to the back by Little. Carr's now more in the position he'd like to be. He's still got a lot of work to do. Compton locking up a bit. Well, Peter won't like this. Compton was a bit of a failure in the cup tie here, but he's not failing in this one. He's not done anything wrong yet, and he looks a likely victor of this race, which is a major shock for the Monarchs. Compton's going to beat Peter Carr, and he's ridden a very much a Carr-style line. Well, that was quite a surprise. Nothing Peter could do about it. He got taken wide on the first corner, and he couldn't find the speed or the drive to get into a really challenging position. That's Andre's ambition realised. Perhaps he won't bother to score any more points now. Well, heat number 4, we are awaiting the arrival of Gary Flint in gate 1. He's practicing his starts at the moment on an engine that doesn't really sound up to the job. Gate 2 will be Ben Shields. Gate 3, Jesper Olsen, one of the really good Armadale visitors. And in gate 4, tough job, Bjarne Andersson. Start there. What can it? Oh, and Jesper's fallen, and Ben Shields had to lay down, so that'll have to be stopped, and Jesper will have to go out of it. So Jesper does occasionally come a cropper, so that could have an impact on things. He's obviously okay, but he's not in the rerun.
Jesper Olsen excluded as the primary cause of the stoppage.
So no Jesper for the restart. Gary Flint on his own. He did beat Ben Shields out at the start the first time. Ben is having problems lifting, but he's away well enough there, and Gary Flint's fallen this time in a bit of a heap on the first corner. So the Monarchs might be interested in lapping him. In fact, Gary's given up the ghost and come onto the centre green, so there's no points for the Diamonds in this one. All that remains is to be seen whether the Monarchs can pick up the 5. They certainly should do. You can never take anything for granted. Once they get to the end of lap 3, you can be fairly sure. They'd have to fall off in a big way to fail from there. There we go. Andersson and Shields take 5, Newcastle take none, and the Monarchs go 5 points clear. So, it's all happening. Gate number 5 brings Peter Carr into gate number 1 in the unusual position of not being unbeaten at this stage. In gate 2 it's Robert Grant. In gate 3 it's Blair Scott, and in gate 4 the winner of the opening race, the very, very stylish and impressive Bjarne Pedersen. So Peter will have to work hard here again if he's not to suffer a second defeat. Pedersen's away like a train from the outside gate there. Blair Scott round the outside, Rob Grant in a bit of bother, and Pedersen leads into the pits turn. Carr trying to squeeze inside him, but I think the Diamonds know that's his favourite line. Look at Carr there, that's brilliant. He's taken Pedersen superbly in his familiar style, and look at Scott having a go there around the outside. Rob Grant's off the track, he's stopped. And Blair Scott's really giving Pedersen a run for it here. Blair's most impressive looking ride for a while here. He's really giving a go, and he's gone round him. He's ahead of Pedersen. Tremendous stuff from Scott. Can he possibly hold it into the last lap? The superstar Dane at number 1 for the Diamonds, being beaten by the Monarchs second string, but he'll have to work here. Pedersen's coming back hard into the last corner. Scott closes him down on the inside with an excellent bit of riding, and he's got it. It's a 5-1. Bjarne Pedersen taken from the back by both Monarchs there. Sensational stuff. The Monarchs have got into tactical substitute territory, but they'll put up with that for a result like that one. A 5-1 over Pedersen. Number 6, it's Jesper Olsen gate 1, Christian Henry gate 2, Richard Juul in gate 3, and Robert Eriksson on gate 4. No changes by the Diamonds in this one. Olsen from 1 has just made it to the corner. Eriksson trying to catch him round the outside, but he shut off there. I think Jesper, in fact, I believe hit the fence moving out, make sure there was no way past. So Robert's gating's not doing him great service tonight, and Christian Henry looking sluggish at the back. Henry's chasing now, so there's 2 battles going on here. I think Jesper's going to win the one at the front, but I wouldn't be so sure about the one at the back. Henry is getting himself onto Juul's tail here, having a real go around the outside. He's still in striking distance as they hit the last corner. Here comes Henry. He's having a battle, and he's got him on the last bend. Brilliant riding by Christian Henry there to share the race. He chased all the way from a very bad position early on. He made up the ground, and a beautiful last bend outside overtake by Christian Henry. Well, they're all up for it tonight. Shared race that time. The Monarchs retain their 9-point lead. Number 7, Dalle Andersson is on the inside gate here. Andre Compton, very impressive in his opening ride, goes from gate 2. Dalle Andersson is in gate 3. An important job for him here, and Kevin Little rides from gate 4. Looks like an evenly matched race, and with a 9-point advantage in Edinburgh's favour at the moment, the Diamonds would probably like to take a 4-2 here to leave heat 8 as a tactical substitute race for them. That would close it all up again. Jan Andersson's away well, but so's Kevin Little. Jan doing well to hit the first corner ahead, and here comes Dalle, and Dalle's come through the middle, and here's Andre on the inside. We've got a bit of a cracker here again. Some good racing indeed. Andersson leads from Andersson, the Swedish Andersson on the outside, trying to find a way to the front. And he's got there. Look at Dalle go. Jan's got to give him room because Andre's coming up the inside. This is a cracking effort by the two Monarchs. Dalle and Jan Andersson. Tremendous effort here. Compton's right on Jan's tail, but Jan's covering that inside gap, and we're only at the end of lap 3. It's thriller second racing. Dalle and Jan getting it right. Dalle perfect round the outside. Jan riding a magnificent inside race covering here. They've reached the last corner. Can they get it right? Absolutely brilliant by the two Monarchs there. Sensational riding by the Anderssons. And the Monarchs soar into a 13-point advantage. The Diamonds are going to hit back, but the Monarchs are really fighting for this one. And that was some effort by these two riders there.
I'm sure they'll make their way around to the flag and use it well, and you can show the appreciation of the 10-point scorers from the 7, Jan Andersson and Dalle Andersson.
Well, heat number 8 brings 3 changes, and one of them's a golden double. It's Andre Compton who's going to ride off the 15-metre handicap, and that's a tall order, I think. His partner will be another tactical substitute, Kevin Little from gate 2. Kevin's only got a single point so far. And on the inside gate, the Monarchs bring in Dalle Andersson, who's got 2 victories so far. So the Diamonds gambling here, I think, that Kevin makes the start and slows the other 2 up. It could happen. Christian Henry's the other man in the race. He was programmed to be here. And it's going to be a vital heat. Little is lifted and he hasn't got to the first corner well, although he's well placed to rush down the straight here. But it's Andersson again, is it? No, it's Henry who's gone to the front. Kevin Little might get ahead of him here. He hasn't. Oh, and the race has stopped for some reason. What on earth's wrong? Well, that was just boiling up into an absolute cracker there, and it's been stopped for some unknown reason.
Well, the referee was employed as stopped that race. Andre Compton and White was moving forward, and therefore he will be moved further back on the rear end of this heat.
Well, Andre Compton's having to go back another 15 metres because he was moving apparently, but I'm not sure the Monarchs will be all that happy with it.
Well, so Andre moving even further back, one more move, and will have been Blackburn, but meanwhile, you're looking at a quick word with the returning Ben Shields. First of all, is it good to be back?
Yeah, sure, it's good to be back. It's happy to be back.
Riders now on 2 minutes for this rerun. We saw you lay down there, was there any...
Well, there's Andre on 30 metres now, so it would be quite an achievement by him if he was to catch the two Monarchs, but having said that, it's Kevin Little's job to slow the home men down. And he was involved in a titanic tussle with them the first time when they all had to stop and start again. So here we go. Little's made a much better start this time. That's what the Monarchs will have feared. He's gone ahead of Henry and Andersson. Compton chasing from the back. I think Dalle would like to be on the outside line where Christian is. They can't get there. Maybe he will now. And Andre's got a chance. He's got them in his sights now with 2 laps gone. The Monarchs are not the right way around, or at least I would like to see Dalle on the outside to give him a better chance. The Monarchs have got to hold out Compton on this last lap. They should do it from here unless they really slow up badly. Dalle's watching him, and here comes Andre round the last corner. He's too far back, I think. Yes, he is. He tried hard. Well, I think the referee kind of spoilt that race by stopping it the first time, but in the end it was a 3-all, and it wasn't really what the Diamonds were looking for. And I suppose the decision to put Andre further back lost him his chance of making any ground.
So
Elite number 9 has Blair Scott riding from gate 1 after a cracking ride in his last one. Gate 2 it's Jesper Olsen, good winner, second time out Jesper. Gate 3 Peter Carr, and in gate 4 Richard Juul. And 2 tack subs used by the Diamonds there, of course, but they've still got Olsen and they've still got Pedersen. Richard Juul's gone dramatically back to the pits with the 2 minutes running. The problem seems to be solved for Dickie. He's back on the outside gate. Into the second half of the match with Monarchs 13 up, but taking nothing for granted. It's Olsen who's made the start. Carr going for the outside run on him. I don't think you'll get outside Jesper. He'll try to get inside him now. And Juul and Scott locked up in back. Oh, Jesper spectacularly off there. Well, that's his second fall of the night. I don't know whether they're going to stop it. Jesper's still on the track there, and they have stopped it. Well, he's having a bad time, the Newcastle skipper. He was good here in the cup tie, but that's another vital fall.
Jesper Olsen is excluded as the primary cause of the stoppage.
Well, no Jesper for the restart. It's up to Richard Juul for the Diamonds to do what he can here. Jim Symes very keen to get him up to the starting gate. And Peter Carr away well. It's between Juul and Scott for second. Richard Juul better drive off the second corner there. He goes into second spot. Blair will chase. He's already passed Bjarne Pedersen, but Richard Juul might be riding a more awkward line. Here comes Blair on that favourite line of his, almost squeezing through there. He'll once again have a big blast. He maybe needs to vary it a bit. That's Richard Juul's line out there. Blair hitting the inside of the second corner there, and that's more intelligent really. And he's got a chance here. Just short as they go into the last lap. Once again Blair looking for the inside, but he's lost too much ground now, I think. Peter Carr hanging back to see what he can do. The answer's nothing. And Richard Juul has got a good second place there that maybe the Diamonds didn't altogether expect. So they'll be quite happy with that, but the Monarchs have extended their lead to a quite remarkable 15 points at this stage. We can expect some more tactical substitutes coming up. Elite number 10, Christian Henry will ride from gate number 1. In gate 2 it's Kevin Little. Robert Eriksson comes from gate 3. He hasn't won a heat so far, and this will be a good time for him to start from the Monarchs' point of view, because they don't want to start letting the points slip away again that they've done so well to build up. And Robert's returning to the pits, causing palpitations in the home camp. The 2 minutes isn't running yet, in fact. In fact it is, although the light's not on. Apparently he's got less than 1 minute. Should be a spinning yellow light to our right, but there isn't, so I think Robert trying to adjust things to get his starting as good as it can be. Doesn't look too happy. Newcastle will not have given up yet. Not a good gate by Ericsson there again. Well, he's got onto the outside line, but he'll have to fight to hold off Andre Compton with Kevin Little in front, and Compton, one of his wild charges there, he's come through from third. He's past Ericsson, who looks a bit lacking in confidence there. Little started with 1 point from his first two, but he's making the start now, and Robert Ericsson can't get that gating sorted out, so the Diamonds fighting back, and there was no way they would give up, and there's no way the Monarchs can make anything of this, I don't think. Ericsson trailing a long way back, and he's got a very tough one coming up in heat number 11 as well. Compton almost in the fence there, but he's got a lot to spare over Robert Ericsson, who really looks unhappy. So that's put a different complexion on it. Just 11 points in it now. Well, encouraged by that last race, the Diamonds make another big move here. Jesper Olsen comes in to replace Rob Grant. Rob Grant still has a right to get somewhere, but he can be used as a tactical substitute to get that ride out of the way. So Jesper is on gate 1 here. Jan Andersson, who's been excellent so far, rides from gate 2. Bjarne Pedersen is in gate 3, and Dalle Andersson rides from gate 4. A very tough race, and the Monarchs may well rue that 5-1 in the last race. A very tight first corner. It's who's going to look at Dalle Andersson there. What a wonderful first turn by the Swede. That was quite superb. He swings well out there, and Bjarne's pressing him, and Jesper's at the back at the moment. Jan Andersson fighting to hang on to that third place. This would be the big one for the Monarchs, and Dalle doing a magnificent job, backed up by Jan. Pedersen's pressing though. Dalle's keeping his eye very much on him. And here comes Pedersen with a big surge up the inside. Does he? Not quite. Dalle's really having to work because Pedersen's fast. And Dalle almost in the fence there. He's a bit out of line and out of shape. Here comes Pedersen again, and a big surge there by the Dane. He's gone ahead. Dalle trying to come back, and he's hit the fence. Oh no, no, no. Oh my goodness. Oh, a horrible crash there. No fault to Bjarne Pedersen, in spite of what the crowd say. Oh, in fact, Pedersen has been excluded. Well, I don't agree with that.
The paramedics having a close look at him, and needless to say, they want to get him into the pits to make sure he's okay. But Jan's still down, and the medics concentrating on him at the moment. We'll bring you an update just as soon as we can.
It's all the top now. It seems to be starting in like the pre-meeting thing, so it'll be a good one to watch.
After the bad crash in Heat 11, we've had a very lengthy delay. I haven't timed it, but it felt like a very long time indeed. I don't really think Jan Andersson's too serious, and I hope that's correct. This is Heat number 12, and Edinburgh are now 15 up and just needing a second place here, I think, to clinch victory. It's Rob Grant riding from gate number 1. He is actually in this race as a tactical substitute because he has to take a third ride. Gate 2 is Peter Carr. Gate 3 is that man Andre Compton who beat him in his first ride. And in gate 4 is Ben Shields having his third ride. Dalle Andersson certainly seems to be okay. Bjarne Pedersen was aggrieved, and I think rightly so, about the decision in the last race. And this time Carr's made a strong start and he's gone ahead of Compton. So it would take some ride by Andre to pull him back, but Andre's certainly flying hard. Ben Shields, an untidy first lap there, has put him well to the rear. Carr keeping his eye on Compton, 2 laps gone. Certainly looks determined to make sure there's no repeat of his first ride defeat. Andre is reeling him in a bit. Into the final lap. Once again, Andre just inching slightly closer. The Carr's got his revenge. Grant beats Ben Shields at the back, so it's a shared race. Edinburgh still leading by 15, and I think that's a clinched victory for them. But Peter knew he had to go pretty quick there to make sure of that one. Edinburgh leading 43-28, and they are home and dry. Well, Ben Shields has had to come into heat number 13, which must mean that not only is Jan Andersson out of the match, I think Dalle Andersson must be as well. So Edinburgh will be happy to have got far enough ahead to ensure victory. In this one they have Robert Eriksson riding from gate 1, and Robert having a bit of a struggle so far tonight. Bjarne Pedersen's in gate 2, Ben Shields gate 3, and Jesper Olsen rides from gate 4. Eriksson has made his best start of the night, but can he get to the front? Yes, he has. From the inside gate, he really made it count that time. Jesper Olsen's chasing. And he's swinging out of these corners and getting some good drive out of the turns. Looking very strong now that he's got himself clear. Ben Shields is chasing, and he's not very far behind Jesper Olsen. The young Aussie's having a real go here, and he's gone round the outside of Jesper. Oh! Jesper pushing back on this last corner, moving Ben right over, but Shields has got him. Oh, what a point that was for the reserve. That was really something by Shields after a poor ride in which he was beaten by Rob Grant. A cracker there to pass Jesper Olsen on the last lap. Brilliant, and he gets a great reception for that. Lead 14, Kevin Little rides from gate number 1. Gate 2 is Ben Shields, who's had to switch to Christian Henry's machine after that excellent ride in his last race. Gate 3, it's Gary Flint for his third ride, and in gate 4, Blair Scott. So Kevin Little leads with Scott on his tail. Shields has managed to get Christian's bike moving and got himself into third spot. Not much to be said here. Looks like an ordinary race unless Blair Scott can get a spurt on, but I don't think that's going to happen now. Final lap. A shared race it is, and Monarchs have hit 50 with one race to go against Newcastle. Something of a surprise, and Gary Flint's finished.
Well, just before the final heat, let me just jump in here to remind you that EMTV Sunday Lunch returns this Sunday at noon, when John Campbell will be our guest. So if you have any questions for John that you'd like answered, anything about this season, anything about his history in the sport, anything at all, drop a line to John and myself at johnandliam@edinburghmonarchs.co.uk. This is the one we've all been waiting for. It's going to be an exciting Sunday. John.
Yeah, thanks Liam. And we'll be back next Friday with another match from our EMTV Rewind. And don't forget, you can get all those matches and all our Sunday lunches on the Edinburgh Monarchs website. Looking forward to Sunday, and the chat with John Campbell should be a cracker. Join us from 12, and in the meantime, as always, stay safe and enjoy Heat 15.
So we've arrived at heat number 15 with the curfew just about on us, 9:45. It's not a crucial race this time though. Kevin Little rides from gate number 1. He's won his last 3. Peter Carr's in gate 2. Andre Compton rides from gate 3. He's been in great form. And Robert Eriksson comes from gate 4. You'd like to see Andre move over a little bit, and the starting marshal agrees with that as well. So Andre moves right to the other side of his grid. So we've heard that Jan Andersson has a head injury and Dalle Andersson a wrist injury. Obviously we hope neither is serious, and we're reasonably hopeful that's the case. Certainly way well, but Robert Eriksson has missed the start and he's stuck at the back. Peter Carr having a look to see where Andre is. He moves right out to make sure there's no way around there. Eriksson trying to get close to put in a challenge, but so far it hasn't happened. He's not far off Kevin Little now. Peter started to make the signals to Andre now, and he's won it quite easily. So it's a shared race to finish with, and a wheelie from the front too. Edinburgh can be delighted with the result, and indeed pretty well all their performances as well. The only question mark is whether Jan and Dalle Andersson have done any serious damage to themselves. But a great team performance by Edinburgh, who've won by 53 points to 36. Point victory certainly cause for celebration for the Monarchs. Dalle Andersson is on the truck holding his wrist. Jan Andersson away to have some precautionary x-rays. It was a 7-man show from the Monarchs. Every one of them did well, and a 17-point victory tells its own story, although Newcastle did have a bit of bad luck along the way, I'd have to say that. Robert Eriksson got 8 from 5, not perhaps at his best tonight. Christian Henry got 4 and 2 from 4, some real battling points included in that. Peter Carr 14 from 5, a rare drop point but otherwise perfection. Blair Scott got 5 and a bonus from 5, and again that was a good performance from 4 it was, of course. Jan Andersson rode exceptionally well for 7 and 2 from 3, but then unfortunately took a bad tumble in heat number 11, and Dalle Andersson quite superb for his 10 and a bonus from 4. And Ben Shields impressive too for 5 and 2 from 5, especially that point ahead of Jesper Olsen. On the Diamonds side, Bjarne Pedersen 6 from 4, Rob Grant 1 and 1 from 3, Andre Compton 10 and 1 from 6, Kevin Little 11 and 1 from 6, Jesper Olsen 4 from 5, a troubled night for the captain, Richard Juul 4 from 3, and Gary Flint 0 from 3. And Edinburgh will be very pleased with their night's work there, I think. That's it then. As we watch the kids come out again, it's good night from Armadale.